Ancestry and click on them, we are going to see the profile, which is where the person's information is kept. We have search, which is pretty obvious. We can search the databases for this person. And we have a quick edit, which is where you can change any of that person's information that we just came up with, that we just added actually. And we also have, if we click back on that, we have our little tools box over here where we can view his family tree starting with Reuben, which would have nobody in it but him right now. We could add a relative, so we could add his parents, we could add his wife, we could add his children right from this point if we wanted, or we could delete him. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on profile, which takes me to my great-grandfather's area where I can either add photos by going to the gallery up here, click on that, and you can either drag and drop a picture into that, or you can go over here to the right hand side and upload photos. You can add a story, and you can even create it right from within Ancestry.com and add it directly into it. Going back to the Facts tab, I can add events such as, let's see, we click on these, you have marriage, custom facts, we can add addresses, baptisms, cause of death, departure. I mean, there's just a number of things that you can add, military, medical, all sorts of things here, along with that you can make up your own custom fact, and you can add, make up your own title for that, which I have done before. I can also, if we go to sources, I could add, let's see, I found a will and I uploaded the will. I could add that onto here as well, and that would become a source. And I can also add over in this section, I can come up here and add family members, the father, mother, spouse, son, or daughter. So, back to the free databases that you can search in Ancestry. In the link I've shared, we're going to go over to it here. You can scroll down and see a list of them all. And let's see here, if we scroll down, here they are. Okay, every one of these, all are free, and you could search them from home without having an Ancestry subscription. If you notice here, we have the 1880 Federal Census, and down here we have the 1940 Federal Census, which is all free. There are various across countries, Romania, Belarus, Australia, California, France, EU, Germany. I mean, they literally are, I think it's about 800 or so free databases here that are available to be searched. So where the magic comes about is if you type in the name, and we are only searching, if you have this free index collections up at the top of your screen, then this is the database that you will be, this collection of databases that you'll be searching. So I'll type in Reuben, and if you notice here, it's going to pull up Reuben's name from the entry that I made. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and it will fill in these areas for me, and then I can hit search. All right. I get this listing, and we see here that he is listed in Find a Grave Index and also in the 1880 Federal Census. The 1880 census actually lists the relationships. So it'll tell who is the father and the mother and son, or if there's a mother-in-law, or there's a niece and nephew or uncle living within the home, where before you, from 1850 up to 1870, it lists everybody in the family, but you don't have that, that written down verification of who actually belongs to who. So this is a pretty important federal census, and it's one of the free ones. You're going to see over here to the right where they give you some other suggested census records where Reuben is listed. And well, to begin with, let's go ahead and save this to Reuben's. I'm going to hit save, and we're going to save it to Reuben. And then we're going to go ahead. Everything looks good. It's added in this new information telling us that he, yes, is indeed was found at the DeKalb, Indiana Federal Census in 1880. So we'll leave that. All right. And so now underneath the sources, we have the 1880 Federal Census. Go into view it. I'll show you real quick. We're going to view the image. And right up here, this yellow area is Reuben Klaus. Oh, there we go. Reuben Klaus. He is 12 years old. He's listed as a boarder. He was born in Ohio. And whoever gave his father's information did not know where the father was born, but must have been aware that his mother was born in Ohio. So they gave that. I have never been able to exactly figure out why he's came to Indiana and why he's living with the Hamilton family. But I'm pretty sure it probably had something to do with earning money. Maybe he came because this family only had girls and he needed somebody to help with him get his farm in Indiana going. So who knows? I have not gotten back there and figured this one out. So it's just another one of those puzzles. But I have to say that when you're looking at federal censuses, you can also go up. We can go over here to this little thing, and we can, the little tools area, and we can download it. You can put it on your computer. The cool thing about this is that, and you'll see on my layouts where I have added Census Records. And I think they're very neat to be able to show people, for one thing, getting people familiar with what a census looks like, what an old census looks like. And also it kind of can give you a little snapshot into what was going on at the time period. And I think that's really important as well. Also, you can share this. You can email it. You can put it on Facebook. You can Twitter. Or you can even Google Plus it. So a lot of options here, and that's all underneath this little tools area. You also have a way to save it to your computer up here at the top. You can save it to your shoebox, which is another tool within Ancestry for saving things. So I think that gives you a beginning, but the real magic happens when you head over to your local library. My library has a 24/7 branch tab where I can look at all the databases they have available to search. If your library doesn't have it, you might want to call around and see which ones do carry it in your area. Most likely you'll have to go to the library in order to use it, but boy, is it worth the trip for sure. Here's a tip though. When you're heading over to the library and going to use the Ancestry there, or use their newspapers.com or whatever other database, genealogy database they might have available, you want to make sure you take a hit list of people that you want to look for. That could be printing out your pedigree chart that we talked about in that left-hand side menu bar. You look for that little printer icon. Or Ancestry has its own app, of course, that you should be able to log into and pull up your tree for. Just try it out first before you get to the library, and make sure you're familiar with it and that you can kind of work your way around it. And then when you find a record, click on the image and look over at that right-hand side where you can click on the little tools icon, and when you're sharing it, you can send it to yourself through your email. So you could go back in here to look at that image, come back over here to this tools, and when you hit share, you can send it an email. So if you're at the library, you can email it to yourself, and you will then have this record in order to keep, and you can download it, or you can just save it directly to your computer within your genealogy files. So I realize a lot of this sounds a little bit tedious, going to the library, having to look up all your information there. But if you're just wanting to get your feet wet, the trial of subscription might be the way to go. That way you can attach the records directly to your tree, all within the comfort of your own home, which we all love to do. I'm going to leave that one up to you, but at least you have some options now.